Hey guys, it's me Miranda and welcome back to my channel. If you've already watched a video where I'm wearing this shirt, I don't apologize because I'm trying to record all my videos in advance so I can go through the month and edit them as I please so that I don't get bogged down with so much editing and work and stuff, because I did start my semester this past week and it's been pretty crazy and it's my last semester, so I want to make sure that I'm dedicating enough time for that as well as all the other areas in my life that are important to me. So this is what I gotta do. I gotta wear the same shirt for probably like 10 videos. Alright, so I just wanted to do a really quick August wrap up because I actually read what I felt like was a lot of books, and then I was going through and I was like, that's actually not a lot of books, but whatever. I felt like all I did was read this month, and not in a bad way. I had a lot of fun. I read a lot of great material, so I really wanted to share that aspect with you guys. So why don't we just jump in? The first book that I read was Caged by Ellison Cooper. I give this one 5 out of 5 stars, and this one you are following a female protagonist who happens to be an FBI agent, and she is on the hunt for a serial murderer, and she's trying to find it. So it's basically just your typical like whodunit case, which I really love, and if you watched my previous video and the tag that I did, I also talked about that one. But I really enjoyed this one. It was a quick, fast-paced read for me. It was a little gruesome, a little gross, but I enjoy all those types of things. It really reminded me of Karen Slaughter, so if you enjoy any If you enjoy any Karen Slaughter stories, I think that you would really enjoy this one as well. Alright, next up was Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't typically like doing half stars. I kind of would rather just do like 4 or 5 or 1, but I really thought this one kind of really just met in the middle of 4 and 5. I really like the writing. Her writing is always great. I love all of her books because of her writing style. But the beginning was great and the ending was a bit lackluster for me. I kind of felt like I needed a little bit more from this one, but it was good enough and it was well worth the read. So I would definitely recommend it if you are into some sinister stuff. But basically, this one follows a female who is the lone survivor of a family massacre, and it's many years later where she is having to go back and revisit the past trauma, and she ends up having to figure out what really happened that night. It's said that her brother was the killer and he's been in jail since then, since the events happened. But now something has happened where she needs to go back and see what really happened. Was it him? Did he have help? Is there an accomplice? I really like this one because it touched a little bit on cults, and I like anything of the occult, so that was really cool. And obviously it's Gillian Flynn and she's amazing, so I'd recommend this one if you like dark, twisted thrillers, because that's what this is. Next up on my list was The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I got this one in my Book of the Month box and I loved it. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. This one was very nostalgic for me, as it follows a female character who went to a summer camp where she made friends with these 3 girls who were kind of like the mean girls of the camp, and then one night they just disappeared. And 20 years later, the female character is asked to revisit this camp, and she takes it upon herself to try and figure out what actually happened all those years ago, as it has always haunted her. I really love this one. This is the second Riley Sager book that I've read, and I believe the second one that he's written, at least under that pseudonym. And I just love his writing style. It's very quick, concise, and it's fast-paced. The plot gets you from the beginning and it holds you throughout the end, and I really enjoy that in writing, especially psychological thrillers. So this one is a great one if you enjoy any nostalgic feels. I went to a summer camp when I was younger, a sleepaway camp, and when I was reading this, I just kept remembering that, and while those were good memories and this book was kind of not, it went hand in hand and I really enjoyed it. It was really relatable and I felt like I could have been that main character. Next up on my list was I've Got My Eyes on You by Mary Higgins Clark. I actually read this one for Thrillerathon and I did do a little review on it. I gave this one 3.5 stars out of 5. I'll link my review to my blog page down below so you can read it, because I really don't feel like I need to go into this one that much. Basically, it's just your whodunit case, but literally, that's it. There's no twists and turns. I felt like the end was very foreseeable. The beginning starts off with a young girl who is murdered in her pool after throwing a party when her parents are away, and the boyfriend is the main suspect. And then instead of turning from the boyfriend, it turns to her neighbor, who is an intellectually disabled man that she often hangs out with, and I thought that the characters were a bit one-dimensional and the plot was not structurally sound. I mean, it was about as hard to read as it was for me to just get those words out. Next up was Tear Me Apart by J.T. Ellison. I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. I love this. I received an advanced review copy of this one from HarperCollins, and thank you so much. I thought I wasn't going to get one, but then I did, and it literally made my day. This plot was amazing. It was twisted. It was curvy. She takes mental health representation to a whole new level. It's very raw and it's very real, and it kind of shows you the impact that it could have on your life in a realistic way, which I always appreciate. And I really love this one. It is about Mindy, who is about to be an Olympic skier until she has a bad accident and she ends up needing a bone marrow transplant and finds out that her parents aren't actually her parents. So who are her parents and who can she trust? Probably no one. But I really like this one. J.T. Ellison's got my heart. She is on auto-buy for me. I really liked Lie to Me, and I just think her writing is sublime. It's amazing. I will read anything she writes, even if it's a hate letter. Next up was The Lion Game by Ruth Ware. I gave this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. I was really disappointed in this one. One of my favorite books is In a Dark, Dark Wood by her. I think she is a very dark and unsettling writer in the sense that when you're reading it, you're feeling really creeped out. And I really didn't get that feeling with this. I mean, there was a certain sense of dread when I was reading The Lion Game, but it was more of like, when the hell is this story gonna end or start? It was a slow burner. The plot took a while to actually get engaging for me, which is why I didn't really like it. And the end was a bit foreseeable, but there were some things that were twisted about it, which I like, and I think I've said that word like 10 times in this video, but it's my fave word to use for books that I like, so... But I did enjoy this one. It's worth the read if you enjoy Ruth Ware, I would say, but I wouldn't hold it to very high standards like I did to In a Dark, Dark Wood, because it's definitely not one of her best. Alright guys, so those are the books that I read for August. Like I said, I felt, oh my god, there's an ant. Alright guys, so those are the books that I read for August. Like I said, I felt like I did a lot more reading, but maybe that's because I did a lot of reading in the beginning of the month and then not so much at the end of the month, just because I was super busy with school and work. But anyways, if you like any of those books, I'll link my blog below because I did do a review for most of those, so you can check that out before you go and read it, I guess. I'm not really sure. Anyways, thanks so much for stopping by and seeing what I read this month. I'm very interested to see what you guys read, so leave any links below down to your videos. I'd love to hear what you thought and what you read, and I can't wait to see what you guys read. Alright? Don't forget to like this video if you liked what you saw, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and thank you so much for stopping by. Bye!